Another day. So you catch us, we just had our breakfast, washed up, packed up, and there's a slight detour this morning because we are heading to a shop called Bax, which we've been told does repair tent poles, because the crack that I repaired on the tent pole for our tent went snap this morning when taking the tent down, which I've got a bit of a sheath we could repair it with, that I thought actually if we can get a new section of pole, that might be better. If not, we'll just have to muddle through somehow. So let's see how the plan develops. Well, we came to Bax Total Recreatee, but although they seem to have everything you could possibly want for camping, they don't have replacement steel poles because they're all fiberglass poles. So we need something, shop. It's a bit more technical. Apparently there's an outdoor camping shop which we've already been in, I think we're in Middelburg, called Beaver. So I'm going to now search Beaver on Google and see what comes up. Obligatory windmill. This one was going round, but the time I stopped and got my camera out, the wind must have stopped. Well, good evening, and a quick life update from where we are. We should have been camping south of a town called Weert. But when we got there, all the campsites were full, which is a bit odd because it's nowhere I've ever heard of and it's inland. And it turns out there is a quite well-known music festival where Simple Minds are playing. So all the campsites are full. So we've then had to do another 20 kilometres. So we just headed east we've been over the Meuse, which is the French river, or the Maas if you're from the Netherlands. Over a river, and then we're between the river and the canal, bizarrely. There's another canal at a place called Echt, E-C-H-T. So we chose that because Echt has a railway station, and that means we can jump on a train tomorrow and half an hour we can be in Maastricht, and we can have a nose about there and see if we can get our tent poles repaired or at least replaced or something. I'm not all that hopeful, but we did a diversion 10 kilometres out of our way this morning to go looking for a pole, but it didn't turn up. So yes, we've done double the amount of travelling today we should have done without a stop for lunch. So we've just nipped over the road to our new favourite supermarket, or mine, which is Jumbo. We think it's Jumbo Visma, the people that sponsor that. But Jumbo stores are great. So we just had, you might be able to see over my shoulder if I photograph this. If I show you down there, without seeing my hands, you can just see our tent. If I zoom in, our tent in the shade, tucked away in the corner there, with our bikes padlocked to the fence. And as soon as you padlock a bike to the fence, even though there's some broken ground and a field behind there, no access, two ne'er-do-wells turned up and had a look at the bikes. So I'm a bit nervous about that, but perhaps it was all perfectly innocent. So we've just nipped over to the supermarket and bought ourselves a lovely salad and a bottle of wine and some yogurty stuff to have, and some baklava, just to get our calorie intake back up again. Otherwise, I'm going to be so thin. I'm going to have to do all my videos in portrait instead of landscape. And look at this lovely campsite, like the Dutch eye either side, very and uniform. And then we're camping right underneath the pylons. Yeah, nice, huh? Well, that's interesting. What's interesting to me, I didn't realise until the kind man at the campsite reception gave me an adapter that you can plug into the normal campsite adapter that goes down. That means you can then plug in your adapter that charges your phone. So that's something. You learn something every day. So that's our pitch tonight. Bit noisy with the road next door. There's a big sort of major road that must go down to Maastricht, but quiet enough. We managed to lock our bikes to the gate. I managed to cobble together a bit of a repair on the pole again. We were all washed up, and we're just planning on an app Just bought our tickets to go on the train. We're going to cycle to Echt station and go to Maastricht tomorrow. And then there's a dike behind me there. And then up here is all the duchies. Past the duchies on the left-hand side. And yes, and welcome to the world. I don't know what I am. Probably not that much of a relation, but my niece has had her second child today. So happy birthday, 0 birthday, to Willoughby Leonard George Davenport. And you're great. I don't know what we're great uncles, great aunts. Doesn't know what that makes me. Hopefully, no liability. Lieutenant Pigeon building his nest up there. If we come down here and zoom out, we stop for a nice orange juice and soda next to the old town walls. We come around there. And there. Just in case anybody hasn't taken any footage of the, looks like a Norman belfries there at the front of the cathedral in Maastricht. That's what it looks like. Fabulous. Not sure why the tower's red. Is it red sandstone or is it painted red?
Yeah, I think it's also a red stone.
It's a red stone on top of some white stone. There are a couple of river barges in Maastricht. We got here for just before 10 and we were the only people here. Had breakfast and then the barges arrive and boy, does the city fill up, even for a Sunday. This is the cycle route. You wouldn't want to take your bike up all those steps, but I think there's a lift. And that's looking the other direction if you're interested. And we're on the pedestrian bridge. Because the bridge we came over this morning was, well, the one I wanted to go over was shut for a construction. Well, we had a nice day out in Maastricht. We've just picked up the bikes at this railway station. And now I'm cycling through, or you are coming with me, cycling through Echt on our way back to the campsite. So as you can see, the Dutch have this is a one-way cycle lane going this way, and there's another cycle lane going the other way. And you almost ran me over there. Right, we're going to take you round interesting roundabout. So we have to be around this way, and then those triangles mean the traffic has to give way to us, and then that way. There we go. We negotiated it successfully. And then we go off down here and back over another canal. This roundabout's even bigger, isn't it? Interesting. Cars have to give way there. And there, thank you. And someone over there. Being very excited. And coming up here is one of the rubbish bins. You can have a go and, like a basketball hoop, have a go at throwing your rubbish in. See the bridge up ahead there we need to go over in a minute. Here she comes. Powered on nothing but Aperol Spritz. She made it. Well done. That's the canal as opposed to the river. The barge with the sand in it. Some fishermen down there. There's the bridge. And that's looking at the power lines stretching into the distance. This doesn't happen very often. a reasonably long section of downhill. Whee! They've graded it quite well actually. They've graded it differently to the road to help cyclists. So there's a gentle gradient for cyclists, and there's it sort of levels off levelling platform, and then it's a bit more gradient, then it levels off. So you can see as I'm coming up here, I'm going down the gradient, and then when I get to a point about here, I'd say it levels off just to take some of your speed, and then whoa, and over the thing. Then I've got to put the camera away because there's quite a sharp bend at the bottom. You might just see the man just coming around the corner down there, because I need both hands. Well, it's Monday morning. A lot of the white goods cleared out last night. I suppose they're here for the weekend, on the end of the holidays. We're all packed up. Mum's just gone to do the washing up, and we cleared our site. And we're going to head to Roermond today. So she's just got the last few things to put on her bike. And that's the direction we're going to be heading in. Back, up, and over the bridge. I bought myself a crossbar pouch by Fair Reach E12X bicycle bag. And it works well. I put my phone in, it clips in under there, and then it means I can navigate as I'm cycling along, and there's a pouch underneath. You can put your sunglasses or your battery pack or something in there. My battery pack's so large that it fits in there beautifully, but then when you put the cable in, the cable the bit of the cable, the socket, sticks out the back, so that doesn't work. So I have to put the battery pack up there, which is solar, that works. Then a cable that runs down into this, and that system works. And we have cycled through heavy rain, heavy rain, and I can safely say it isn't the slightest bit waterproof. So the inside in here it had about 2 or 3 tablespoonfuls of water sloshing around. The outside is hard, but I think it leaks around the stitching. My phone was fine underneath the plastic, but the actual inside wasn't waterproof at all. But it certainly makes it easier. In the past, I've had my phone up here, and it's just a little bit too far away and a bit too squishy to really read it properly. But down here is great. The disadvantage is when you've got your head down looking at the phone, you cycle into other people coming the other way. So you need to choose your moment. It might be better. I did see one guy had one sort of mounted up here, which struck me as quite a good idea, but then of course that's not very aerodynamic, is it? Here she comes. She's looking so thin, look. Good. I brought my own woman with me to do my washing up. She needs to practice. Good, thanks for that. Well, we made it to Roermond. So we're going to stop here and have a cup of coffee. And then we're going to nip across to the Decathlon and another beaver shop to see if we can mend our pole. And then we're going to head up to Venlo. So it's still quite muggy. Good little cycle. So 20k to here this morning so far. Well, I'm back in Beaver again, but this time we're in Beaver in Beaver, I think it is, in Roermond. And it looks like we might be successful. So Mrs. Antagonist is off shopping over there. And these gentlemen here, very kindly, look like they've taken my poles apart. And we look like we might have a solution. So that's all looking good. So thank you, Beaver, if that works. You catch us in the evening, north of Venlo. So these are our mended pole. So I'm very pleased about that. So hats off to Beaver. The guys there in Roermond for fixing the poles. It's the same group. Beaver's the same group as Cotswold Camping. there's a children's play area there, and the couple camping there in their recumbent bike. We've seen them before. Around here, more cycle tourists. We're on the Peters Pad way, and there's also the someone trying not to get into ruin the shot. We just had the second lot of our pasta tuna and mayonnaise for dinner. So we have a cup of tea now, have some biscuits and some chocolate. And then the place we're staying here, it's lovely really. When we arrived, managed to get the tent up and everything. And no sooner had we got just everything sorted, it absolutely bucketed down. Stair rods for half an hour, and then it's cleared the air. It was very, very muggy. So around here is an area where you can wash up. I'll show you the inside of the lavatories later, because that's quite interesting. Some more Dutchies having their lunch there. And then tomorrow we're going to cheat a bit, because on Wednesday, today's Monday, Wednesday it's forecast to rain all day really heavily. So we're going to cycle back to Venlo, which is 12k or something, jump on the intercity, go to Herzengelnbusch, where we have booked in overnight on booking.com. And that means Wednesday we can ride out the storm there, and then we booked in a couple more campsites before we head for home.